And welcome back. We've been talking a lot lately about travel delays and cancellations at airports nationwide at the airport. But there is a new discussion emerging concerning the taxpayer bailout that was meant to prevent travel chaos during this pandemic.
Joe St. George takes a look at why it could get even worse this summer and what the government is doing so that your next flight actually takes off.
The biggest issues with flying right now in the United States has nothing to do with the physical landing of the aircraft. The biggest issue involves showing up at the airport with your luggage and trying to avoid the dreaded canceled flight. Unfortunately, that's happening more and more at airports all across the U.S.
Let's start with this past weekend. To be fair, it wasn't as bad as some predicted. 1.8% of all flights in the U.S. were canceled over the July 4th holiday, but 21% of flights were delayed. That's 1 in every 5 flights. So far, 2022 has seen more flight cancellations than all of last year. According to the travel blog The Points Guy, American and Delta lead the way in cancellations within the last month or so.
All of these travel delays and cancellations got us wondering what happened to all that money taxpayers gave the airlines during the height of the pandemic.
In total, taxpayers gave around $54 billion to airlines during the pandemic so they could prevent massive layoffs when no one was traveling. You remember those days, don't you? I do. That's one of my favorite selfies. But back to the money. According to industry experts, that money is mostly gone, and the problem goes well beyond cash. United CEO Scott Kirby said in an April earnings call, there simply aren't enough pilots, at least not for the next 5+ years. One reason many airlines offered buyouts to their staff, as well as early retirement incentives during the pandemic that many took advantage of. Filling those jobs has not been easy. All of this suggests frequent delays will be part of the travel experience for the foreseeable future, especially since some airlines are beginning to blame air traffic control staffing issues for more delays. But the federal government is trying to address this. The Department of Transportation is reminding passengers they have the right to refunds, not just points when a flight is canceled. The FAA is also working to better handle crowded airspace in states like Florida and New York to keep flights on time. Not to mention, some planes are flying lower to stay on schedule during weather events, even if that means using more fuel. For many lawmakers, though, it's not enough. Senator Bernie Sanders tweeting out recently, it's time for Secretary Pete to fine airlines $55,000 per passenger for every flight cancellation they know can't be fully staffed. In Washington, I'm Joe St. George.